Welcome to Do You Wanna Dance with Sophia in Sapphire. Learn how simple it is to go from wallflower dreamer to confident center of the stage dancer. Whether it's the first dance as husband and wife or another option for date night, we'll help you go from nerdy to flirty, jump-starting your dancing journey and transforming your experience into a personal expression of what makes you, you. And now, your host for Do You Wanna Dance, Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live on VegasAllNetRadio.com. We are live every Wednesday at 4 p.m., and this show is about inspiring you, helping you get out there, jump-starting your dancing journey, and making the most out of your first dance experience. We have tips and tricks to show you how to get from nerdy to flirty. And today, with dance as a sacred movement, dance as a language, a primal tool of communication, we will learn what the role of dance is in different cultures and have some insight on its expression and the significance of the release that it provides. So we will have someone here who will join us shortly. Her name is Amanda Gibson, and we'll take an in-depth study of dance. If you missed a show, please visit our website, sophiainsapphire.com, to have access to archives and downloads. Like us on Facebook to be personally invited to our classes, events, and meetups. Co-hosting with me today is Magic Al Jensen. Magic Al, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Have I ever told you this is my favorite time of the week?
I haven't heard.
I love this time of the week, 4 p.m. on Wednesday, my favorite time of the week, because not only is Sophia and Sapphire on VegasAllNetRadio.com, but I get to be in the studio with you. So I love that, and it's my favorite time of the week.
Let me ask you, so you more than once have said that this is your favorite time of the week, but
yes.
what about this show strikes you, or what do you like so much about it?
Well, two things. Number one, I just love the broadcasting field. Okay, that's just kind of should go without saying. And number two, the concept that you have developed in Sophia at Sapphire and the Do You Wanna Dance radio show, I believe in. I love it. I think that dance is a way for people to communicate. I think it is one of the most basic things that we as human beings have inside of us. And I think it is so wonderful what you are doing to share the concept of dance. Now, your particular love of dance comes from ballroom dance, but we're talking about all sorts of dance, the way that music moves the soul, the way that it inspires us to move and to communicate and to share our primal feelings, with other people. And I have always loved dance, although in the last few years, for some physical issues, I've not been able to dance like I would have liked to or have had in the past. But I still love dance, and just love being here every Wednesday at 4 o'clock.
Well, that's really good to hear.
There you go.
Thank you for sharing. And I wanted to mention something about dance that is not only special to our species, but even animals do little dances to impress each other.
I'm a YouTube fan. I've seen those dances before. Absolutely.
Yeah, so, especially, turkeys or birds with feathers, they strut their stuff, right?
That's right. I have, up until just a short while ago, I had a parrot. And I've watched every parrot video on YouTube. And parrots really, really get into dance.
Have you videoed your parrot?
I have, although he was only a year old, and he's not to the point where he's able to literally dance on command like some other parrots are. But I keep my video camera handy, and one day I will get him.
The other day, actually yesterday, a friend of mine showed me a video of a Chihuahua dancing on only two legs. And I did not know this, but Chihuahuas can actually stand on only two legs.
I saw that video.
Oh, you did see it?
That was hilarious, yeah.
So I think it's so cool. And lately, I don't know what it is, but lately in the last couple weeks or last month, I've just been noticing videos on Facebook and social media of animals having that, endearing feeling towards each other and
Right.
movement
Mm-hmm.
and how they react and use, body language of their own
Yes.
to communicate.
They certainly do. And, speaking of YouTube and videos, things of that nature, I'm getting ready to do a cool new show which will feature a lot of videos and things. So I've been watching a lot of funny videos and a lot of different videos, and I've been watching dance videos from a variety of cultures. In fact, specifically the Russian culture.
You have, Al.
I literally have. In fact, if we have time later on, I'll tell you about it. Tomorrow, on a show I'm doing, I'm going to be showing a video of a Russian woman dancing.
No way.
Yes way.
Can you show
Yes
us a
way.
little demo right now?
No. No, I don't have the cleavage that she had.
Oh,
So,
are you sure?
yeah. Okay, well, I'm pretty close. But
Okay,
still.
well, but to be honest, if we're talking about cultural dancing, a lot of that garb and costume is quite modest.
Well, yes, it really is.
So we don't know which video you were watching. Period.
But you'll have to check it out at some point in time.
Yeah, well, as a kid, growing up in the Russian culture, I feel like I did grow up in a little bubble, which is kind of cool because, we kept up with the tradition. We kept up with doing all, the Russian stuff, which included, folk dancing.
Right. Now let's set the stage for our listeners. You were born here in the United States, born in California.
That's right.
To a family of Russian descent.
Third and fourth generation, mind you, but my first language was Russian.
Exactly. And you went to school.
I went to a Russian school.
To a Russian school.
In addition to American school.
So you were thoroughly immersed. You were thoroughly immersed in the Russian culture growing
That's
up.
right. It was kind of interesting because, like I said, in a bubble, what that means is I didn't necessarily assimilate as an American into the American culture, but at the same time, when I went back to Russia, so many things changed after, post-Tsar monarchy
Right.
that it wasn't the culture that I remember growing up in. Even the language changed,
Really?
And the culture and the traditions kind of, at the detriment of communism, basically your individuality and, the traditions kind of were disappeared, right? Because everyone was the same and all of that uniqueness and that richness kind of
Now,
dissipated.
you went to the Ukraine, which is a part of the former USSR, and you worked with the Peace Corps for a couple of years. Is that right?
Yeah, 2.5 years I lived in a small little village in Ukraine. I did have a goat, dirt roads, and
Dirt roads and a goat. Now, I want to know, what did you do with dance during that period of time you were in Ukraine?
The thing is, what's cool about the Peace Corps is that you do get an assignment, and you actually can make something out of nothing. You can just be boring and do your assignment, or you can create projects that you realize yourself. So I actually, before my service ended, I took a huge interest in the cultural arts and dance. And before I left, I was able to go around in the villages where they really had no amenities, and they still did these amazing dances, or they still had these weddings that lasted 3 days long. And they did these very almost acrobatic sort of dances that included a lot of lunges and jumping, and the men danced with the men, women with the women, and it was very cultural in their own costume, very long dresses and warm out of wool, and it was very interesting. And in those mountains, mind you, they still used horns to communicate to each other because
Really?
every little mountain had their own little community.
Mm-hmm.
And so in order to announce a birth or a wedding, there would be a certain toot on the horn to communicate to the next village that, hey, something big is happening. So I was very lucky to see a genuine representation in actual still modern world, but traditional type of living and lifestyle, which included the dance.
Sure.
So that was really interesting. I also did cultural arts preservation, which was really cool. And I would visit all these tiny little nooks and crannies in the mountains where they actually, make their own pottery and own arts, and really cool experience. So
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to break one of the cardinal rules of interviewing, and that is I'm going to ask a question without actually knowing the answer ahead of time. So I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I know that you were raised in the Orthodox Church. Is that correct?
That's right.
Now, in the Orthodox Church, were there any sort of dance moves or dances that took place as a part of the Orthodox Church culture?
Faith was not celebrated with dance. Actually, faith is very internal and very meditative. So it's more there's more mysticism to it. It's not celebratory and it doesn't include instruments or music. Only the voice of the chanting.
Because I know, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but there certainly is an importance to many cultures for the movement, dance, and music in terms of their religion, their faith, things of that nature.
Exactly, like fire dancing, for example.
Right, there's a lot of those.
Especially with the tribal dancing, the ritual behind it. So that's quite exciting, and I think we're going to delve more into that today because it is time to introduce our special guest. Her name is Amanda Gibson. She is a dancer, actress, and she just finished her dance role at the Rock Vault. We're going to welcome Amanda onto the show.
Yay!
Welcome, Amanda Gibson.
So, thank you so much.
I just want to say something and share with our audience that you actually have declared that you came out of the womb dancing. So what is that all about?
How does one do that?
Well, I think that dance and movement is the first language we learn, actually.
Right.
Before we learn how to talk, it's, we communicate physically. And I think that is, our joy is expressed through our bodies, and our sadness is expressed through our bodies. And to me, that's actually dance, is like letting these emotions and stories kind of pass through us and let themselves tell themselves through us. So I always say that dance is my first language.
Do you have an initial memory? What is your earliest memory of dance?
Yeah, what dance were you doing coming out of the
were
you doing the cha-cha and the merengue?
I think it was a combination. I don't know if I can really name exactly what dance it was, but I can tell you I was really happy to be alive. So it was a happy dance, that's for sure. I didn't cry or anything like normal babies. I honestly came out smiling and just excited to share whatever gifts that babies come to share in the world. So, but that's a really interesting question. My first dance memory, I remember begging my mom when I was really young to start dance. I went to the Nutcracker when I was 3 or 4 years old.
Really?
And I was just transfixed. I was a child who was really, you couldn't get me to sit and eat, and let alone sit and watch a show. But as soon as she took me to the Nutcracker, I was just didn't move. And the next year I was signed up for dance class, and it was just the highlight of my week. That's all I talked about was dance class. And I was in the Nutcracker that year as the reindeer. I was Rudolph at the end. So they had all
At what age?
4. They had all the little 4 and 5-year-old dancers. The Nutcracker, the last role was all the little ones came out and brought Santa and all the cast out in a big sled. So that was my earliest memory, and I just fell in love with being on stage. And it's funny. I feel more comfortable on stage than sometimes I do in life.
Oh, how interesting.
So that feels like my natural way to communicate.
Very cool. So I take it Nutcracker, that's ballet,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Very cool. I was also part of the Nutcracker growing up,
so
I'll share that story after the commercial break. But we have to cut into our first commercial break.
Okay.
Please stay tuned, and we'll be right back after these short messages.
Everyone in the studio is taking a quick dance break. We'll be back after these brief commercial announcements.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway.
Can you meet quality people without belonging to an expensive dating service?
Is there a place to have a lot of fun with cultured people and create good friendships?
Wouldn't it be nice to find a social structure of sophisticated, like-minded people?
Meet new friends and have a great social life?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
That's what Sophia's sophisticated lifestyle is all about.
Curious?
Check her out at dinedanceanddate.com.
It's the first dance of the rest of your life. So experience all the joy and capture your unity. These memories will last forever as pictures and stories passed on by family and friends. You deserve a perfect moment that focuses on the two of you. Give your guests the gift of shared heartbeats. This is your first family story, the first intimate embrace, and the first timeless accomplishment together. You're dancing for each other, so go ahead, take him into your arms.
The experience is so special. The Sophia and Sapphire experts are like dance superheroes. They make it fun, easy, and comfortable. They're professional, passionate, and have a playful company culture. No lesson is the same. They break it down, and the experience is tailored to you. The milestones are exciting. Fear and intimidation no more. It's like no other. Fill out the Get Started form and get started with the Sophia and Sapphire Dance Superheroes today.
Are you seeking a great way to rekindle the romance with your significant other? Increase your intimacy while also having fun? Spend some quality time and learn how to dance. Improve your verbal and non-verbal communications with your partner. Do it in a way that will both mentally and physically reconnect you with each other. Enhance the romance and the excitement. Spice up your relationship and learn to dance. Visit sophiainsapphire.com or call 1-888-640-0202 to discover your elixir. Why dance lessons, of course.
Are you sick and tired of not seeing consistent growth in your business and feel like you're spinning your wheels no matter how hard you keep working? If you're ready to finally do something about it so you can start enjoying your life more, then listen up. My name is William Mears, and I'm the founder of Mears Venture Productions and creator of the popular MVP strategy. And I'm prepared to reveal 3 of my most powerful business acceleration strategies with you when you pick up the phone and call me. Together, we can create that magical growth you've been chasing after. So what are you waiting for? Give me a call, 1-800-411-6472, and let's take your business to a whole new level.
Hi, Sophia. This is Ann, and I'm calling because my husband surprised me with dance lessons at Sophia in Sapphire, and we had a marvelous time. I never in a million years thought that I would be able to salsa. I can't believe that Jim was in for it, and we both had so much fun. Since then, we have been going out on dates just so we can salsa, and it's really changed our world. So thanks again, Sophia. We had a lot of fun. You're a very patient teacher, and I can't wait to take the next lesson.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire. Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. Don't forget, you could find us on sophiainsapphire.com for past episodes and downloads. And also, if you would like to be invited to our events, please do find us on Facebook and like Sophia in Sapphire to be personally invited. Today in studio, we have actually a very special guest. I'm super excited about it because this is our first guest who is a professional dancer.
That's right.
Her name is Amanda Gibson. She's also an actress, and she just finished her role as a dancer at the Rock Vault. So that's pretty exciting. Welcome back to the show, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
Wow, do you bring your own peanut gallery to applaud for you every time? That's awesome.
You know,
That's the entourage right there.
All right.
right before we cut off into our first commercial break, we were talking about the Nutcracker, and I think, you know, a lot of girls who start their dancing careers, you know, at a very young age, they start with ballet, and their first experience performing is performing the Nutcracker. And I have to say, I clearly remember being 5 years old, performing for the very first time on stage, and I was a really shy, cute little girl, and I felt so empowered, like I just felt invincible. You know, it's like the lights were shining. I was just so confident in what I can show everyone and do, and it was almost like I could do it better than anyone else. But I was a shy kid, so it was so interesting. I don't know if you experienced the same thing, but
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, you know, some of the most incredible performers I know, like I've talked about, it's almost like, yeah, they're a little bit shy and introverted, and dance or the theater is a way that they can express that side of them, you know, and something in them comes alive when the lights come on, and like you said, it's that feeling of invincibility and confidence, and something in you wells up, and I think that's your soul, like, this is what I'm meant to be doing, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's why, you know, when people experience dance, it is transformational, because it becomes, you know, you surpass all of those negative thoughts and those habits of not believing of yourself, and there's this click, the switch that happens where, and anyone can experience it, but there's something about emoting or moving your body that is pretty significant, and I know you touch upon that, so thoughts on that?
Yeah, oh my goodness. Well, I think that dance is cathartic. I think it's healing. I think that if you are ever feeling overwhelmed or stressed out, the answer is always to put on music and dance, whether that be in your kitchen or going out for a night with your friends. But yeah, there's something so powerful about moving that energy, you know, and I think that we're energetic beings, and we hold stories and emotions and everything in our bodies. And I also teach yoga, so I've learned that obviously through that practice as well. And the more we're able to kind of get into our bodies and let go of anything, you know, let go of any internal blocks that would block us from really shining our light and living in our radiance, that can be really really kind of released through dance.
Yeah, something like not of this world almost, right?
Yes, 100%. 100%. It's like, like you said, it's transcendent. You know, it's like, and it can be very meditative. It can take you to a place, you know, beyond.
You know, and that's why people ask me, why did you call your company Sophia in Sapphire? I'm like, you can't express what dance does. When you're on the dance floor, you emulate the brilliance of a jewel.
Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful.
I'm glad you get it.
Oh, well, do you know that Rumi says we are all standing on a jewel dance floor?
Oh, that's a good one.
Isn't that is so beautiful what you just said, because that really resonates with me.
Now, Amanda, I see in your bio that you teach not only yoga throughout Las Vegas, but also drum and dance classes to children.
Yes. So
tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. One of my greatest teachers, Jada Fire, she is an owner at Barefoot Studio at Town Square, and she is a powerful performer. I've actually been subbing one of her classes, a drum and dance class. And I feel like the drum has been a very powerful way for me to really connect, and kind of almost journey. You know, it's almost like a shamanistic journey when you really connect with the drum and the dance. So I did my first drum dance class. I led that last Friday, and it was so amazing. And whenever I'm teaching kids yoga, I do try to bring in, you know, connecting with animals or nature, music, whatever we can really like connect with, so they can kind of surrender to something else besides them. I think it really helps for kids to like be an animal or be the wind or pretend they're an instrument. That's really fun for them, and so I try to get adults to come to that same space, because I think that we all have that child, that internal child, and when we start to really nurture that, I think that's where a lot of healing and growth and transformation happens.
Now, okay, so the Nutcracker, we did ballet.
We did ballet.
And now we're doing yoga and drum, you know, movement, dance to drums and things like that. I understand you're also, can we even talk about the belly dance thing that you got coming up here in the very near future?
Yeah, so another powerful performer that I've met is a woman named Sarah Lynn, and she leads hypnotic tribal belly dance.
Oh my goodness!
Tribal belly dance.
Does it include?
Oh my good! Oh my goodness!
Like a pendulum crystal.
She is a pendulum crystal, is what she is. But you know exactly what you were just speaking about, Sophia, is that ability for for dance to almost like put us in like a trance state, that transcendent space where it's just like you and the movement, and something else kind of takes over. So I think that's what she means by hypnotic.
Yeah.
But yeah, and she has started a belly dance troupe. We're starting this fall, and she's invited me to be part of it, so I'm super excited about that. And I feel like that's my kind of next step in my dance journey is belly dance. So
Well, I also see that you love practicing hot hula dancing.
yes.
I've always thought that all hula dancing was hot, but apparently there's a different connotation here that I'm not familiar with.
Well, when you're in Vegas, I mean, it's a whole new level of hot.
wow.
Yeah, I also teach yoga at a place called Surf Set.
Right?
And so it's we do moves on surfboards. It's like indoor surfing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And I brought passes for everybody.
All right.
Yes, thank you. Yes. And so Jason, the owner of Surf Set, actually spent a good amount of time in Hawaii, and he, was inspired by the culture, and he brought in a hula dancer. There's a company in Vegas called Hot Hula, and they teach hula dancing at Gold's Gym. They teach it at Surf Set, and so there's this troupe of women who are, these incredible hula dancers. So they teach at Surf Set, and I've been taking classes there, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So look out for them, the hot hula dancers. And I'm sure any of these women would love to be part of your show in the future.
Absolutely.
yes.
We'd love to have them on here.
So hula dancing, that's definitely cultural. And I know,
Yes.
you have actually recently been traveling and experiencing visually, I don't know if you've been participating, but the different cultural dances around the world.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. That has been just the greatest blessing ever.
Now, in the last 2 months, you have been a world traveler. Where have you been in the last 60 days?
In the last 60 days, I have been to visit my boyfriend's family in Fiji.
Fiji.
And that was stunning. As soon as we walked into their home, we were greeted by these Fijian dancers and these incredible drummers. And I participated. I was trying to follow along and get involved, and I had so much fun doing that. And then we went to Australia. And then we were on a yoga and dance retreat in Bali, and we got to learn from Balinese dancers. And Jada,
Oh my.
so beautiful. And Jada and her husband are fire dancers, so we did some fire dance. And then we were in Japan. We went to a celebration, a Japanese celebration, where we got to see traditional Japanese dancing, especially the little kids. It was so joyful and magical. It was just... that
So tell me something. You, visually were able to witness all these dances. Are they more of an art form now? Is this more like, a hobby to visually experience, or do people do this symbolically?
What do you mean by symbolically?
Like, do they do it because it's still a standing tradition to do so, or is it more of a hype where, you go to the country and they're doing it for you because you're a tourist?
Okay. I think that the Balinese, I think it's all symbolic. Like, it's all deeply rooted in tradition, and it's a way to welcome you,
Right.
And it's a very warm, celebratory thing. They want to share their culture with you, and what a more beautiful way than to show that through dance. And
So did you join in the fun?
all of it, yes, all of it, 100%. I loved it.
And any particular culture that you found to kind of speak to you?
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I had to say everyone I appreciated for different reasons. The Balinese dancing was so expressive. They use their eyes, their fingers, their entire body is engaged in the movement. And so I thought that was just absolutely stunning. And then the precision and elegance, the Japanese, the way that they express themselves is just so gorgeous. And like I said, I feel like the best dancers that I see are poetry in motion, and I really experienced that there. So yeah, I loved all of it.
So I'm curious. So we have all these different cultural dances. What is the cultural dance in America?
That is such a good question. Is it?
And don't say the twerk, okay? Because that's not it.
Well, I think that's the beautiful thing about America. I think in the South we have country line dancing that may be considered.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe in the inner city in Chicago and New York it's hip hop. And I think that we have some free-spirited modern dance that kind of arise out of a California vibe. So I think America, what is our American food? I mean...
Well, what I think is, the dancing is evolving, but it's evolving in a global level where it's not much different than other countries if you're thinking about in the modern perspective.
Right.
I do think that country, if we did have to choose a sort of dance, even though it doesn't make sense here on the West Coast or East Coast. But I think country, there's something about country in America that might make sense there.
Yeah, I have to say that's where my mind went first.
All right, guys, we have to segue into our next commercial break. But please stay tuned. We will definitely be back after these short messages.
Feel free to get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
Tonight we dance. I live my life.
Are you funny? Do you want to be funnier? Want more laughs from your speech, business presentation, or act? I'm Big Magic Al Jensen, and in addition to being a radio show host, I perform my comedy magic act on stages across Las Vegas and cruise ships around the world. I've consulted and coached humorous speech contest winners, stage performers, and business professionals who want to bring more humor to their conversations and presentations. I can do the same for you with my program, Funny Just Got Easier. One-on-one coaching, group classes, and workshops are available. Whether you want to be funnier in front of an audience or just in conversation, Funny Just Got Easier is the simple and quick way to kick up your humor. Check out funnyjustgoteasier.com for more information on personal coaching and workshop dates. That's funnyjustgoteasier.com.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me every week for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. Join my How to Dance in Real Life Situations meetup at meetup.com and visit sophiainsapphire.com for more information.
Are you sick and tired of not seeing consistent growth in your business and feel like you're spinning your wheels no matter how hard you keep working? If you're ready to finally do something about it so you can start enjoying your life more, then listen up. My name is William Mears, and I'm the founder of Mears Venture Productions and creator of the popular MVP strategy. And I'm prepared to reveal 3 of my most powerful business acceleration strategies with you when you pick up the phone and call me. Together, we can create that magical growth you've been chasing after. So what are you waiting for? Give me a call, 1-800-411-6472, and let's take your business to a whole new level.
Are you seeking a great way to rekindle the romance with your significant other? Increase your intimacy while also having fun? Spend some quality time and learn how to dance. Improve your verbal and non-verbal communications with your partner. Do it in a way that will both mentally and physically reconnect you with each other. Enhance the romance and the excitement. Spice up your relationship and learn to dance. Visit sophiainsapphire.com or call 1-888-640-0202 to discover your elixir. Why dance lessons, of course.
The experience is so special. The Sophia in Sapphire experts are like dance superheroes. They make it fun, easy, and comfortable. They're professional, passionate, and have a playful company culture. No lesson is the same. They break it down, and the experience is tailored to you. The milestones are exciting. Fear and intimidation no more. It's like no other. Fill out the Get Started form and get started with the Sophia in Sapphire Dance Superheroes today.
Can you meet quality people without belonging to an expensive dating service?
Is there a place to have a lot of fun with cultured people and create good friendships?
Wouldn't it be nice to find a social structure of sophisticated, like-minded people?
Meet new friends and have a great social life?
Abso-freaking-lutely!
That's what Sophia's sophisticated lifestyle is all about.
Curious?
Check her out at dinedanceanddate.com.
Hi, I'm Larry Harris from Las Vegas. I want you to know about my experience with Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire. I signed up for her 10-lesson dance challenge to gain confidence, to learn the skills, to look like I knew what I was doing. Sophia made learning how to dance fun and easy. It turned out that by the end of the challenge, I wanted more, so I continued on with more lessons. Since then, I've gained enough confidence to go out into the social scene and even ask strangers to dance. I've made new friends and feel good about myself. The challenge paid off. I finally became a babe magnet. Because after all, everyone knows girls like a guy who can dance. Thanks, Sophia.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. Don't forget, you can find us on sophiainsapphire.com for past episodes and downloads. And if you would like to be invited and included and have some super fun, please find us on Facebook and like Sophia in Sapphire. Today we have an awesome guest in studio because she is also a professional dancer. Her name is Amanda Gibson. Welcome back onto the show.
Welcome, Amanda.
Yay.
So you know what was cool? We got to chatting a little bit during the break and dancing.
Yes, yes.
But one thing that we were talking about is what it takes to be a professional and professional dancer, because a lot of people are like, oh, she must have been just born into it. But there's a huge journey and a lot of fighting that goes into doing your passion, you know, and a lot of times along the way, a lot of snags. People don't believe in you. They think it's not serious, it's stupid. And aside from that, you have to have confidence in yourself and don't let the setbacks hold you back. So I know we kind of touched on that. Any 2 cents on your journey becoming a professional?
Wow, yeah. Anybody who I've met who's really had creative success, I think all of success starts from humble beginnings. And I know that I had to be humbled first. And you know, you have to dare to be bad before you can become good, and then be good before you can become great. So yeah, I think it's the journey of the soul, and it's when you're really living in your passion, it's teaching you all those life lessons that we're here to learn as well. You know, about dedication, about belief in yourself, perseverance, faith, and trust. All those things I know that I really had to learn, and I think that, you know, on the other side, I think it's like no pressure, no diamonds. You know, I think we all start off as maybe some coal, and like Sophia and Sapphire said, you know, when we follow our passion or our artistic creativity and really start to listen to our own inner voice, that's when we really begin to sparkle and shine our light.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know if you experienced this too, but I had to see of what life is without it. For example, when I went to the Peace Corps for 2.5 years, seeing, you know, non-opportunity and not being able to realize what I truly want. Coming back, I'm like getting all excited. I'm like, I'm going to seize the day, you know?
Oh my gosh, that is so my journey, because growing up, you know, I danced and I acted, and that was my life and my passion. And in high school, I lived in Scotland and in England, and I was dancing and acting there. And then when I decided to, you know, my parents encouraged me to go to college, and they said, okay, I think it's time to put that hobby away and like get a business degree. And so
get a real job.
Yes, yes. And because they were well-meaning parents and only trying to protect me and do their best from you know what they knew, they really encouraged that. And I had 4 years with dance and acting, and I felt my soul just shrinking and shriveling. And that's exactly what you said, Sophia. That is what, that pain of not doing what I love to do was what catapulted me to just make that switch. I flew to LA. I graduated college. I heard a graduation speech that said, do what you love. And I was like, that's it. I don't care what I have to do. But, you know, I worked multiple jobs. I worked at restaurants. I worked all over the shop while putting myself through groundlings.
You know, I remember a moment in time when I was driving in the car along the coast in California, you know, and it was after the Peace Corps, and I just felt like I was rotting inside just because I wasn't moving, and I wasn't like being true to myself. I didn't know what to do, where to go. You know, when you come from the Peace Corps, it's like a reverse culture shock. You're like treading water, trying to integrate yourself back into society, and at that, trying to be true to yourself. So I have to say, sometimes you have to hit rock bottom or feel those horrible things, right?
Oh my gosh, Sophia, I think we're soul sisters. I feel like you're just like telling me your story. You know, because that's how I felt. I remember when I first moved to LA, it's like you feel like you're floundering. It's like all you're clinging to is that one little small hope in yourself, you know, and you're lost and you don't know your direction, but it's like I have to follow my heart. And I remember when I first came to LA, I had a blow-up mattress. I always tell the story just because I want people out there who are trying to follow their own passion to know, that they're not alone, not the other side of all of that can be something so beautiful. But I moved to LA with $1,000 for rent for the month and a blow-up mattress. I would walk Vons for air conditioning. I had nothing. And, I think, like you said, hitting rock bottom and kind of coming to your own ground with just like you and yourself and your heart. That's when you start to kind of find your own way.
So what happened with that $1,000?
So the $1,000 went to paying rent for the first month, and then I luckily got a job serving breakfast at a restaurant, and it was I had to get there at 5 o'clock, so I would stand away for the bus at 4 a.m.
Oh my goodness!
So like I said, and I think that a lot of actors or performers or anybody will tell you, and I think that that's kind of the character building years, I like to call them. That's where I really kind of find out what you're made of. And all that grit and passion and everything that goes into it, I think you have to plant the seed in the ground, and it has to weed its way up through the dirt to become that rose.
Now you have a truly inspirational story about what brought you to Las Vegas from Los Angeles. Would you give us that story?
Sure. So I was working at the Groundlings. It's an improv sketch comedy theater in LA, and I was just having a great time and really enjoying that space there. And it's funny, I think kind of when you stop trying and you just kind of like going with what is, and I was just letting like the art kind of come through me, and I stopped trying to be anything or anyone. And I think that's a big part of it too. And I just kind of accepted what was. And that night there was a producer who saw the show. His name was David Kirschenbaum, and he was casting for a show called Raiding the Rock Vault, and casting for a character named Jade, who was a hippie chick, and she was also an 80s dancer. And so he met me that night, and as soon as we met, our eyes just like locked, and I just knew in my heart, like, I'm going to be moving to Las Vegas. And they had auditioned, thousands of girls in Las Vegas, and they didn't find anybody, and he was coming down. He had auditioned 300 or 400 girls in LA, and he was having his last final audition. So he said, "Can you come tomorrow?" And I said yes, and I had just let go of my agent at that time, so I had no agent. I had a flimsy little headshot, and all the girls at the audition had these huge lists of all the things that they had done and all these agents and stuff like that, and I pretty much came with nothing. And I was just like, I have a lot of faith, and I said, Spirit, if I'm meant to do this, then I know that you'll guide me. And I auditioned 7 times. They kept calling one girl in, then calling me back, calling one girl in, calling me back, having me read different parts. And after the audition, I went home and packed up my entire apartment. My roommate said I was absolutely nuts. I canceled all of my bills, and I just waited. I just knew in my heart that's how strong my faith was. I had my entire, to this day, my roommates still know how crazy I am. But it was a huge act of faith. And I waited for a week. I was working at a job at a restaurant, and I remember just like holding my phone in my pocket, just waiting for that. And then it happened. It was pretty amazing. So, I started everything, and I lived in the LVN hotel for a year and a half, and had unbelievable time at the Rock Vault. It's just been so cool. So what kind of dancing? It was rock, like rock dance. We danced a number called Jump, Van Halen at the end. And actually, I was very humbled by the people that I got to dance with, because one of the girls was on So You Think You Can Dance. Oh, cool. And she was like an acrobat, and I have to be honest, I felt like next to her sometimes, like, oh, who am I to be dancing? But I realized like this had nothing to do with like skill. It has to do with like your heart, and like just go out there and shine. And I think dance is also like a celebration. So I just gave it my all every night. And it was more like rock, expressive kind of party dancing.
So what was it that set you apart, would you say?
I think that I didn't have all that stuff. Like I just really kind of came into like an egoless position. Like I
organically.
Organically. Like I'm just here honestly like to serve the show, and I really felt like I came from a really humble place that I didn't expect anything, and I just tried to be truthful in the scene, and not try to manipulate anything. Like you just said, it was completely organic. Like I was at a place in myself where I just trusted. And I wasn't trying to make something happen. I just was feeling from my heart. I think kind of when you fall in love, it's like you just kind of trust And that's kind of how I felt.
Now, Amanda, I think we're going to have you back because we've got so many more stories to go through. We're almost out of time.
Okay.
Why don't you tell our listeners where they can find out more about the wonderful person that is Amanda Gibson?
That's so kind. Thank you so much. I have a website, amanda-gibson.com. I have to be honest, I'm in the process of updating that right now. I have an Instagram that I've just started to really embrace. It's Angel One Bliss. And then you can find me on Facebook, Amanda Gibson. And I'm really trying to embrace social media more because I think it can be a really powerful vehicle to share stories and inspiration. And yes.
Very cool. Thank you so much for being here with us, Amanda. That was really great to hear from you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
All right. We have to segue into our last commercial break. Please stay tuned. We will be back after these short messages.
Feel free to get up and dance while we take a quick break for these commercial messages.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sing.
Can you meet quality people without belonging to an expensive dating service?
Is there a place to have a lot of fun with cultured people and create good friendships?
Wouldn't it be nice to find a social structure of sophisticated, like-minded people?
Meet new friends and have a great social life?
Abso-freaking-lutely!
That's what Sophia's sophisticated lifestyle is all about.
Curious?
Check her out at dinedanceanddate.com.
It's the first dance of the rest of your life. So experience all the joy and capture your unity. These memories will last forever as pictures and stories passed on by family and friends. You deserve a perfect moment that focuses on the two of you. Give your guests the gift of shared heartbeats. This is your first family story, the first intimate embrace, and the first timeless accomplishment together. You're dancing for each other, so go ahead, take him into your arms.
The experience is so special. The Sophia in Sapphire experts are like dance superheroes. They make it fun, easy, and comfortable. They're professional, passionate, and have a playful company culture. No lesson is the same. They break it down, and the experience is tailored to you. The milestones are exciting. Fear and intimidation no more. It's like no other. Fill out the Get Started form and get started with the Sophia in Sapphire Dance Superheroes today.
Hi, it's Sophia from Sophia in Sapphire, here with a personal invitation to join me every week for my How to Dance in Real Life Situations beginner class. Begin your journey from nerdy to flirty while you learn how to make dance more than just a one-time thing. Join my How to Dance in Real Life Situations meetup at meetup.com and visit sophiainsapphire.com for more information.
Hi, Sophia. It's Roxanne. I just wanted to let you know my husband and I wanted to do a first dance at our wedding, and we found Sophia and Sapphire online. We had a total of 10 lessons in 3 months and put together a routine that was easy for us to learn, tailored to our first song, and that made us look good at our wedding. Our wedding dance specialist from Sophia and Sapphire was amazing, patient, and taught us the dance moves progressively, and in a way that someone with no dance experience, like us, could still learn and make it look great. Scheduling was flexible, and we were able to conveniently meet at a studio located closest to us. Thanks, Sophia.
Welcome back to Do You Wanna Dance? Once again, your host, Sophia in Sapphire.
Sophia in Sapphire.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your hostess, Sophia, and you're listening live to the Do You Wanna Dance radio show. Don't forget, you could find us online at sophiainsapphire.com for past episodes and downloads. Also, if you would like to be invited to Sophia in Sapphire events, please like us on Facebook. So today we had an awesome guest. She was a professional dancer. We talked about, dancing in different cultures, what it takes to become a dancer, the communication of it. And one thing, in between the commercial breaks we were talking, but I think one thing that really stands out is that you know, the one that succeeds isn't the one, you know, that's the most perfect or that has the most amazing skill set, Al, but it's the one with the most heart, would you say?
I could not agree more. Could not agree more. In fact, in terms of magic, because I come from the magic world, there are magicians who are much more skilled from a technical perspective. But why do I get hired? Because I can bring the passion. I can bring the connection with the audience. And that's exactly what Amanda has brought to us today, is the fact that, yeah, there's more skilled dancers out there, but she brings her heart. She connects with the audience through her connection with the music. She gives it her all. She brings her soul into it, and that is far more important than the technical aspect, I think.
You know, I can totally agree, because a lot of times dancers are beautiful, but they're dancing for themselves.
Right.
They're not even taking into consideration that the whole experience is the audience too. What are you making the audience feel? What are you evoking out of them? And it's almost very humble perspective to be conscientious of not only your own talent, but what is it that you're trying to convey? What kind of experience are you providing? Because dance is not a selfish thing. It's a communicative thing and a creative thing. It's an art form that's to be shared. So
it's all about communication, whether you're dancing from an expressive perspective as a solo dancer or you're dancing with a partner in a ballroom type setting. It's all about communicating with your partner, communicating with the audience.
Yeah, all about the heart, the emotion.
Exactly.
You know, that's what affects and moves people. So actually, before the show today, Al, you were saying that you had some experience with cultural dancing. Is that so? I want to hear about that.
I thought we were going to get through this without having to talk about that.
I need to know.
You need to know. Well, I came across a photograph recently, a newspaper clipping from, I think it was 1961. I was 3 years old, and I was featured on the front page of the local newspaper. The local newspaper, black and white photograph, and I was standing there with some, silly expression on my face, wearing these little shorts and a white shirt with suspenders and a bow tie, and I was doing a Danish Christmas dance.
At 3 years old?
At 3 years old. I mean, I don't remember.
How did you learn the Danish Christmas dance?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I'm sure it was through our church. Now, I was adopted as an infant into a Danish family. And that's that's the culture, the heritage that I grew up with. And I remember this Danish Christmas song, and it was called Nu har vi jul igen. It's Now We Have Christmas Again. And it was a dance around the Christmas tree where you held hands with the people that were next to you, and you moved around the Christmas tree and moved your hips one way, moved your shoulders one way, and then you would stop and you would stamp your feet and you would clap. So I remember some of those details, but I don't remember that particular photograph being taken, of course, at 3 years old.
Well, you must have stood out somehow.
Apparently, I was the most expressive dancer there that day. I mean, I don't know.
That doesn't surprise me.
I actually, as a kid, I remember dancing around the Christmas tree, holding hands. I think, in European cultures, I think that's something definitely to do on Christmas time.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun.
So, we've been having a great set of guests, and I love that we're delving into more the dance aspect, what it takes to be a dancer, the music behind it.
Yes.
And we're going to have a lot more interesting guests coming along in the near future.
Absolutely. We had a commitment from somebody who actually makes the music that people dance to. We're not going to give away his name yet.
Pretty excited about that.
But that's pretty exciting.
And musicians are a huge part of dance.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us today on the Do You Want to Dance radio show. We are live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. So please catch us next week, and we will have a lot of fun on VegasAllNetRadio.com. See you later, guys.